The Dacia is forging ahead with a big new model push, and it may just come at the best of times. Look, Romanian automaker Renault produces cheap and cheerful cars, and plans are underway to bring the brand to Australia by 2023. Impressed with the latest Sandero, and the upcoming 7-seat jogger looks very promising. Meanwhile, the brand has given its existing SUV, the Duster, a few timely updates to try to keep it fresh before the new version arrives, possibly in 2023. This is the Dacia we're talking about here, so don't expect a radical overhaul. The overall engine lineup remains unchanged, with a 66 kilowatts 1.0-liter turbocharged 3-cylinder petrol as a starting point, and a 95 kilowatts 1.3-liter 4-cylinder motor for those who want a little more power. Both options are front-wheel drive and are equipped with a 6-speed manual gearbox. The highest range gasoline driven here is the 110 kilowatts version of the same 1.3. It's front-wheel drive only again, but it doesn't get a manual option. It comes with a new 6-speed automatic clutch. Dacia will still sell Duster, a 1.5-liter 84 kilowatts diesel unit with a 6-speed manual and a choice of front or four-wheel drive, and the company continues to offer an LPG-compatible bi-fuel powertrain that carries a combined range, between petrol and gas, in excess of 1,223 kilometers. That's impressive, but didn't expect the gas version to come here. From the outside, the upgrade to this facelift model is fairly simple. There's a new radiator grille, a new wheel design, some new finishes in the main areas and different headlights, incorporating new Y-shaped LED daytime running lights to help tie this old model to the latest Sandero design language. Inside, the Duster gets fresher-looking materials, slimmer headrests and a new center console, incorporates USB connectivity on some models, plus 1.1-liter storage and armrests. The range of trim levels continues to be simplicity itself. The entry-level Essential version comes with 16-inch steel wheels and gets automatic headlights, LED daytime running lights, reach and rake adjustments on the steering column, DAB radio and air conditioning. Interestingly, this edition is offered only with a choice of 66 kilowatts petrol or bi-fuel, which has the same engine but is rated at 74 kilowatts because the output is higher when you press the LPG switch. Which includes 16-inch alloy wheels, front fog lamps, heating and electrical adjustments in the side mirrors, electric rear windows, leather steering wheel and upgraded seats. It also carries Dacia's latest 8-inch infotainment system, with a pair of USB sockets and hookups for Android and Apple phones, plus a rear-view camera and rear parking sensor. Top-spec prestige models, like the car pictured and driven here, feature 17-inch alloy wheels, privacy glass, front parking sensors, satellite navigation, climate control and heated front seats. The new combination of engine and gearbox certainly adds a new dimension to the range, although the Duster won't embarrass the more expensive engines in terms of performance. The 1.3 motor has a decent low punch, and while it can crank it up to 4,000 revolutions per minute and above, it really isn't necessary. The Dacia claims a 0-100 km/h time of just under 10 seconds, and that's a fair reflection of the overall performance. It's acceptable, without ever feeling fast. The engine is smooth when cranked, and at a steady 110 km/h cruising will be around 1,200 revolutions per minute, a smooth companion. The new gearbox will be on the sidelines at a moment's notice, but not without its drawbacks. Shifts are generally pretty smooth, but the software controlling them can lead to clunky decisions at kickdown and holding gear when it would be much better served by a higher ratio. In this respect, The Duster is not a full-fledged rival to the VW Group's dual-clutch products, and it's a far cry from what Peugeot and Citroën have achieved with conventional 8-speed cars. Aside from tweaks to steering calibration, Dacia's engineers haven't really messed with the Duster settings. It brings pros and cons, it pretty much just focuses on convenience, and generally delivers on that. The 17-inch spec Prestige alloy might not help much here, guessing the comfort on the 16s would be a bit more compliant, but the Duster does a good job of absorbing the bigger bumps, just really unstable in the long run from broken asphalt. He tends to want a second jab in most situations, though a second head throws over a bigger bump, a second small bounce before putting his body into a faster corner, even an additional steering input in the more winding parts, which improves response at higher speeds. Doesn't really bring much gain in accuracy. We'll soon get used to these traits indeed. If you are already a committed Duster owner, you will probably feel familiar with. But the platform's older foundations can be traced back to 2004, betrayed by a less attractive behavior that is increasingly rare in modern cars. The amount of vibration transferred to the cabin, via the steering wheel and pedals. There was quite a bit of wind noise from around the A-pillars as well, probably because the revision didn't include sheet metal rework. In that sense, Duster now feels the right generation behind the latest Sandero and in particular the stepway. A facelift can only do so much. The cabin, meanwhile, remains very striking in design but features hard-wearing plastic and switchgear that prove to be durable and boring to look at. The new 8-inch infotainment system sourced from Sandero is still mounted lower in the fascia than we'd like, but has a sharp display and is sharp enough to respond to input.